Welcome back to Two Birds and a Third Sports Podcast. It's here. Josh is here with me, DJ, Hank, and Ricky. We're here to talk about a little thing called, football. I think that's going to be what our first main topic is going to go into. Actually, it's all about football today. Some fights. We have some benchings. We have some people that should play when they shouldn't. But, guys, let's start off. How are you doing today? I know I missed last week, but how's everything going with you guys the past 6 days, 7 days?
Pretty good.
Well,
we actually just celebrated
really.
Hank's birthday. Hank,
Yeah.
you're so
I was gonna say.
happy belated birthday for all the listeners out there to
Yes.
Hank. It was his birthday on Sunday, and we spent it properly by watching football on Sunday.
We spent
At 10
it
in the morning. We watched his Eagles.
proper. Yeah,
So,
we spent it proper. And a rare Eagles win on my birthday. After like 5 years of
How
them
does
losing.
that happen?
Hank, rare and winning are not in the same sentence with the Eagles this year. Sorry.
Absolutely
I
Oh,
guess
not.
we're gonna lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I didn't say that. I
Don't
didn't
jinx
say that.
it. Don't jinx it.
No.
say
See,
that.
now that's
No.
a typical Dallas fan. You know, when their parade,
Hey,
when it's
no,
when they're
but,
trained,
no,
their
but
parade,
I
you gotta
told
take
Hank.
that shadow.
When-
But I told Hank that if we lose, which we probably will, and you lock up the NFC East and you get the first seed and everything, which is a completely different thing, then that's bad because then you're gonna rest players and you might not be ready. Then again, who knows?
Let's just say if there is a parade in Philadelphia, free beers for everyone.
Oh, careful.
So
go back.
So we're talking about
Would you go back to the parade, Hank? Would you go back to the parade?
that would be really tough. I would have to get so much notice, and then if the Eagles lost, then I'd like have to take the day off anyway, which probably wouldn't be such a bad thing. But I don't think I can really take.
Teachers can call in sick.
No, I
can't
know,
they?
but I can't take personal vacation days. It's weird.
Oh wow. Well, no, just call in sick.
Yeah, that's no.
I've had substitute teachers before, Hank. So
No,
that
yeah.
is a possibility for you to call in sick.
Yeah, you have to get a
You done messed up, hey Ron.
you have to get
Speaking of-
you have to get a substitute teacher like a day in advance.
So you have to be 2 days sick. Is that?
No, you have to call in sick. You have to call in sick the day before and not be sick. You know.
Yeah, I'm in the hospital. Nope, you gotta come in.
I'm going to be in the hospital tomorrow. I'm just giving you guys. Actually, 2 days from now, I'll be in the hospital.
But Hank,
Anyways,
tell me what you think, because I know we were talking about it a little bit earlier off the show. This whole Eli benching. I mean,
I personally believe that
and then we'll move on to Ricky.
it is a good idea in a sense because Ben McAdoo is such a stooge, and this team is 2-9, and Eli Manning has won those 2 games without Odell Beckham, without Brandon Marshall, without a lot of his other weapons. His offensive line sucks. In this sense, as an NFL coach, in order to save your job, you need to do something different. Okay, I understand that when Eli Manning's winning, he's loved by the fan base, he's loved by everyone. But in this sense, Giants fans are acting like Eli Manning just died. Okay, Eli Manning.
he kind of did, Hank.
No, he didn't. They just benched him.
His record died.
Okay, well, his record died, but
And career,
And his career.
unless Jacksonville takes him, and then
no,
Jacksonville.
I know,
wins
but
the
his
Super Bowl next year.
record is dead. But in a sense, he wasn't passing Brett Favre. Brett Favre played for what 17
Forever.
consecutive seasons, every single game. That's like over 300 games. He was never gonna make it.
296 during the regular season, 317 total, including postseason.
Oh, okay.
That's-
But he's
that's
still
like-
that's
my God.
that's like 3 seasons. That's like 3 or 4 seasons. More than that. Excuse me. That's like 5 seasons away from what Eli Manning has right now. I don't think he was ever gonna make it there. So, I mean, it's nice to have that, but Eli Manning looks at his Super Bowl rings as being more important than 210 consecutive games.
Well, that brings me to my next point that I brought up with you. And you said, well, Eli Manning hasn't won a Super Bowl lately. Here's my argument. Neither has Drew Brees, neither has Aaron Rodgers, neither has Ben Roethlisberger. None of them have won a Super Bowl lately. So I don't think that's a good argument. And I get what you're saying, though, about Ben McAdoo. He needs to save his job. And I guess maybe it's a scapegoat thing, because now if they lose the rest of the season, well, yeah, we're starting Geno Smith. What did you expect, for us to win?
Yeah.
Or if you get one win, they'll be like, oh, look, he was able to get a win with Geno Smith and nothing else. So either way, it's going to be a positive for him.
It's just in a sense that he's trying to save his job. And let's be honest here, Ben McAdoo is going to get fired no matter what he does.
Whoa, those are big words. Hold on. If they're going to, because you're right, actually, the Giants in recent history have stuck with their coach until they resign usually. So, I mean, they might wait till the end of the year to fire him, but I thought they were going to fire him after the Niner game. I thought for sure.
That's not the Giant way. The Giants never fire head coaches mid-season. They never do it. They always wait till the end. That's just not the Giant way. The Giant way is a running game, a defense, and keeping your abusive kicker away from the public spotlight and suppressing that in front of everyone. That's the Giant way.
All right. What do you think, Ricky?
I think it was a good move. Like Hank said, it's a good move in a sense. But let me explain why. Now, this might be. I'm gonna use a correlation from a different sport, but it explains why I think it was a good move in the sense. As a Phillies fan, me and Hank, we were, of course, like that all hype on that, what was it, like that run between 08 and like 11, where they were the best team in baseball, but they kept the same core around because they thought, hey, if we remove these, hey, we could possibly replace these guys because they're getting kind of older and they're not performing up to our expectations. But instead, they held on to them to way too long, and now you're stuck in trash limbo where you're just waiting until the players develop. The point I'm trying to make is that if you hold on to the players, even though they might not be performing to your expectations, you don't know what you could have on roster that could help you in the future. For example, I don't know if Geno Smith's going to suck or he's going to do good. I don't know if Davis Webb is going to be a solid quarterback. You might as well answer these questions now. So come draft time, you can decide, well, do we need obviously they have a ton of needs. So, do we need to trade down, get an offensive lineman, which I'm suggesting they do, and get some more prospects in here to help us get younger, get a better offensive line, get some more weapons for whoever's quarterbacking, etc. Do I feel bad for Eli? Yeah, sure, but I'm sorry, but that's the business developmental part of football. And you have to do it.
And the other aspect is that people are saying that the Giants are trying to tank. When I hear that the Giants are trying to tank, I heavily disagree with that because there's absolutely no guaranteeing that Ben McAdoo will be there. I mean, they go down and they're like, "Hey guys, we're gonna tank so that next year half of you guys can play with a high first round pick or something like that." I don't agree with the prospect of tanking because, like the current coach of ASU always said, you play to win the game.
Okay. Hank, actually, that leads me to my point. You might not like the fact that they're tanking, but they are indeed tanking. And that is what's happening. That's what's going on in New York right now.
No, teams do not. Now, NFL players,
I understand
they do not tank.
But if you in the sense,
because all those guys on the team, they're not guaranteed a job next year.
I understand that.
Why give up your roster spot for somebody?
Let me explain. Let me elaborate here. In the NFL, you are right. They do not tank because of what you stated. There are no guaranteed contracts. So, what's the best way to try to tank, but not really seem like you're tanking? It's not like the Sixers, they did in basketball where their contracts are guaranteed, where players won't really mind because they're getting paid either way if they tank. In the NFL and what the Giants are doing, the easiest way to seem like you're not tanking is, to bench your quarterback that you've been having for the past decade. So without showing, I think the front office is definitely tanking.
Told Ben McAdoo.
No. Again, this is something that the front office.
So the front office said that they're going to bench Eli.
No, they didn't say it. They didn't say it to the public. It wasn't said. This is a tank job. Like, they're covering up this tank job just like they did Area 51.
Yeah, but at the same time, Eli Manning has only won 2 games. So if you were really trying to tank, you'd keep him in there.
No, I think what they want is to lose to the Browns. I think that taking Eli out, you will not win a game now that Eli is out.
No.
But what if you do?
Then you move up or you lose a certain spot in the draft.
Yeah.
That's.
But you're gonna tell. You're gonna tell.
Wait, I want to bring this up. Hold up. This is an important point. If the Giants, the thing that I think is weird is that if the Giants were considering tanking, like Hank said, they would keep Eli in there. But not only that, the thing is if you look at the Giants, their most important need is on offensive line. There is no question about that. So if I'm looking at these prospects, right, there is not a single draft prospect in this draft that is worthy of offensive lineman, that is not worthy of going top 5. Plain and simple. So you're trying to, and I'm not saying they're going to try and, try to make it so that they'll win more games so they have a favorable draft position to take that. No, because obviously you want to see what you have on your roster. We don't know what for all we know, Webb could be a solid quarterback. We don't know. Geno Smith could possibly be decent for some time until you get enough pieces to take another quarterback. We don't know that.
You're saying that Geno Smith gives them a better chance to win because by that, by what you're saying is that if you take Eli out, you're going to lose the rest of your games. But if you put Geno Smith in, you're telling me he's going to win a game? No,
I didn't say he was going to win a game. I said you don't know what he can do.
Because here's the thing.
But that's why that was my point. Because if you take Eli out, you're almost guaranteed no wins. If you leave him in there, he could probably win you a game or two. And I think they're going for a quarterback. They can basically kill 2 birds with 1 stone here by seeing what they have in Davis Webb and what they have left in the tank for Geno Smith. And then if they lose enough games, who knows? Maybe the Browns could go on a 2-game win streak. I know that's saying a lot, but they might be in position.
They might win back. They might win.
All right.
2 games in a row.
So I think what they're trying to do is secure maybe the 2nd or 3rd overall pick by taking Eli Manning out right now and going for Sam Darnold.
Or McAdoo is under the impression that if he stays, if he for some miracle stays, then he needs to see what he has in Geno Smith and Davis Webb before he moves on.
Of course.
That's why I don't think he's going to get fired because if you pay it, because this is let me tell you something. If he kept Eli in there the whole time, I'm guaranteeing you that he's probably getting fired. But I will say at the end of the season, not mid-season. But looking at this again, right? Again, I'm looking at the Giants, and I'm looking at if I was the general manager of the Giants, if majestically I was able to replace Jerry Reese, which probably all Giants fans would love, not really. What I would do personally would be just finish out this season, see where you end up, and then what you're going to have to do on draft day is you're going to trade down. I don't care if you why would you take a quarterback?
Because they need a quarterback. Eli Manning is on his deathbed, and I'm guaranteeing you Geno Smith has nothing left in the tank, and Davis Webb is a product from Cal.
Let me put it this way in the sense of the Browns. I'm not trying to – now let me put it in this sense. If the Browns take Rosen or Mayfield, right, just because they happen to be talented doesn't mean they're going to translate well to the pros because of who's around them. Like, look at Carson Wentz. I guarantee you that even if the Browns did take Carson Wentz, I don't think Carson Wentz is as solid as a quarterback he is now. I'm not trying to, say that as an insult, but it's true. Like,
No, I'm not. You're not saying it's an insult at all. I'm not taking this personally at all.
Yeah.
You're actually Hank's more of a Giants fan than I am. So
Of course.
I think Hank, why don't you finish up your last point? We're going to move on.
On that note,
Yeah.
let's move on to let's move on to the whole Aaron Rodgers the situation that I have with Aaron Rodgers, in the fact that for a while he's been trying to come back from his shoulder injury. Everyone knows he has a dislocated.
No, he has a broken collarbone.
He's a broken collarbone. My bad. And I remember when the greatest quarterback in NFL history, Nick Foles, he broke his collarbone against the Houston Texans back in the 2014 season. I was under the impression that he was going to come back in 6 weeks, but he stayed on ice for all 8 weeks from the 6 to 8 week segment. And I believe Aaron Rodgers got injured week 6 against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So 6 minus 12 is 6, so that's only 6 weeks. And I believe if the Vikings win another game and the Packers lose, then the Packers there's no way they can win the division. Their only chance would be at a wild card. And the teams in the NFC that are currently in the whole wild card contention are Carolina, who's 8-3, tied with the Saints, and I believe it's the Seahawks, who are 7-4, and the Falcons, who are also 7-4. Or the Falcons.
Right now,
the Falcons are ahead of the Seahawks.
Hank, I have it right now. It's the Eagles are 1, Minnesota's 2 at 10-1 and 9-2, and then number 3 is the Rams at 8-3. 4 is New Orleans at 8-3. 5 is Carolina at 8-3, and 6 is Atlanta at 7-4. So you basically have the entire NFC South in there, and then after that, in the hunt, you have the Seahawks, who are 7-4, 1 game back in their division, and then you get Detroit at 6-5. Green Bay is all the way at 5-6.
Yeah, they're in the same boat as the Cowboys in the sense that they literally, to make the playoffs, they would need a miracle in the sense that they would literally need to win out and then hope that one of these teams falls apart. Like, I remember, at this point in the season, last year, people were saying, wow, Detroit's sitting at 8-4, they could possibly get the second seed. And they fell apart and went 9-7. So there's a possibility that one of these teams could fall off.
Green Bay still has to play. They get the next game at home against Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay's quietly rattled off 3 wins in a row without many people noticing. They've actually won 3 games in a row. Then they go to Cleveland to play the Browns, but then they have to go. But then they have another road game in Carolina. Then they have Minnesota, and then they finish in Detroit.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's even worth it to bring him back.
No, it's not.
You do not bring him back.
And
here's why.
Because the collarbone injury is a 6 to 8 week injury, and if he gets it injured again, he'll be out for longer.
That's what I was gonna. You just steal my thunder. I was gonna bring that up.
I stole it, but Tony Romo did the same thing. He tried to come back too early and then literally snapped it in half again.
Yeah, like this is why you don't bring him back. Number one, you need to bring help to Aaron Rodgers. I would say the Packers and the Cowboys are similar in the fact that one player goes out, but then again, the Packers did win a game without Aaron Rodgers. But anywho, point being is that you need to give him help. So if I'm the Packers, you're probably looking like, okay, let's just finish out this season. Let's say they finish, 7-9, I don't know, or 6-10. You have a favorable draft. This is the problem that the Packers have had over the past couple seasons. They get into the playoffs, have a terrible draft pick position. Luckily, they managed to luck out on some of these picks, but at the same time, you're not getting a solid franchise corner, like a corner of your franchise, like a tackle or I don't want to say a linebacker, but
Ricky,
basically.
I'll tell you, coming from a team that the Ravens, whenever, because remember that streak where John Harbaugh made the playoffs 5 years in a row? Literally, that hurts your draft in the first round. The second, third, fourth rounds, the Ravens always found well, and other teams found a way to do it. But
Mhm.
I get what you mean about how when you're consistently at the top and getting to the playoffs, you consistently have a later pick. And that means you never get these shot at like a Julio Jones or
Yeah, that's
you know.
why I'm like, and I don't want to bring my team into this, but like that's why if you're the Cowboys, for example, I'm thinking if they end up that's why I'm a personal believer that if you are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you might as well tank to get a better draft position.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, so what? The Giants aren't taking though, right?
But that's
Because the Giants aren't taking.
but my team is. No, but my team is different in the sense that they're a more established team. Not trying to like showboat or anything, but like in all seriousness, like the Giants have
Wow.
problems all over.
Flexing that cowboy muscle.
No, but with the Cowboys, you clearly see that but this season it wasn't like the Cowboys were completely inept when they're fully healthy. Because clearly when they're healthy, they're one of the better teams in football. But when the Giants were fully healthy, they looked completely inept.
Yeah, I know what a net looks like, and you guys aren't that. So,
Yeah.
So I think we agree that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't come back. I just think the game. I just don't think it would be worth it.
You know
and
what? I have a countering point to that. I think it's worth it. I think if they could get a playoff spot, because if you get Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs and he's somewhat healthy, yeah, he'll probably break his collarbone again, but he'll do
and then
Aaron
he has to go-
Rodgers thing.
Yeah, and then he'll probably retire in the next 2 years.
You get Aaron Rodgers in, and he's kind of healthy, and then he'll have to play against the Eagles or the Vikings
And
or
what if he beats them?
the Saints.
And what if he beats them?
Then it
just saying-
doesn't matter. Look, DJ, wait.
Here.
No, I get it, but I'm trying to make an argument to that. Like, here's the thing. I'm under the personal belief if you do not win the Super Bowl, then your season's a failure. So what's the point in going, like, if you end up majestically making the playoffs, make a run, get to the conference championship, and you lose again because the Packers can't get past that round, then your season's a failure then, because then you get terrible draft position. So what? You make the conference championship game. That crap doesn't matter if you don't win the Super Bowl. I've learned that.
The only
Nobody
time
remembers you making the game. They just remember how you lost to let the other team go to the Super Bowl.
Exo facto, Ricky, your passionate speech just gave creed to my theory that the Giants, when you take out your starting quarterback, yeah.
But the thing,
He's a healthy scratch. Come on.
The thing is, I will disagree with Ricky in the sense of, if your team played badly the year before and you have low expectations and you go to the conference championship game and you lose, then especially in the sense of the Green Bay Packers, especially because they were so mediocre at this point and they made it to that point, I don't consider that to be a failure of a season because of what you were able to accomplish. I feel like going to the conference.
You're not a normal Eagles fan, though.
What?
You're not a carbon copy of the normal fan inside the NFL.
That's true.
It's just disagree to disagree.
So let's move on to Aqib Talib, and I just want to say right now, the Aqib Talib Michael Crabtree fight. Let me tell you right now that the Mexican word of yesterday was Talib. Would be good to leave your chain at home if you don't want it snatched.
We have another one, Hank. It's the Talib Tree Gate.
Talib Tree and Talib Tree 2.
Talib Tree 2. Oh man.
Yeah. They play again this year, right?
No,
we get
they
to
don't.
see them.
They don't.
No.
They already played.
Yeah. Oh no, they already played twice.
We gotta wait until next year. Yeah. Damn it.
I personally didn't get to see the fight, guys. I heard there was some good punches thrown. I heard there was some connection too.
Not really.
But I think what the main discussion here is the suspension. They were suspended for 2 games, and literally even before 24 hours they gave the suspension. They would go ahead and reduce that suspension to 1 game. My question to you guys is, did they deserve the 2-game suspension, even though you felt like that the fight might have been planned?
Oh hell yeah! They both
The fight might have been planned.
Of course.
I think so. He taped his chain.
No, because he knew he was going to snatch it. He didn't plan to fight.
Of course.
I think he knew. he was gonna try to snatch it. The game was gonna get chippy, but they just went at it, dude. You didn't see it.
Of course, they both deserve to get suspended for. I thought they should have gotten suspended for 2 games, especially because of the fact that, well, you could suspend them for 1 game because at a certain point in time they were broken up, and then they started fighting again. Like, they came to the complete other side of the field and they started fighting again. You know, this wasn't like the Andre Johnson fight with Cortland Finnegan, where like they fought and they broke them up and they went their separate ways. No, the chain was pulled, punches were pulled, Michael Crabtree's helmet gets pulled off, they separate them and they're like, oh, this is all hunky-dory. But then they go towards the end zone and they start punching each other again. So
yeah.
I truly believe they deserve to get suspended for 2 games because that is absolutely, as adults, that is absolutely unacceptable conduct.
Go, Josh.
Good
Go,
job,
Josh.
Hank. Send him to detention.
You, teacher.
They're
Yeah,
going
Hank-
to the pit of
They're
misery.
going to OCS,
Dilly
aren't they?
dilly.
Send him to the pit of misery.
Dilly
Yeah.
dilly.
So, Hank, I feel like I think they should be suspended, absolutely, because the difference between the more that I think about it, the difference between that fight and the Jalen Ramsey AJ Green fight is Jalen Ramsey and AJ Green got in a fight because the shit talking got to a intense level. Michael Crabtree and Aqib Talib, they wanted to fight each other. They knew they were going to get chippy.
Mhm.
Crabtree probably started it because he never disengaged the block and was ready to just take him to the ground. Aqib yanked his helmet off and was throwing punches.
Yeah.
I don't know. They should definitely be suspended for a game
Well, I am
and fined a ton.
I am okay. I don't believe
Take away a
in the
game check.
suspension.
Take away a game check on top of the fact that they shouldn't get a game check for that game.
You know what? You know what I would do? I wouldn't suspend him for any games. I think where you really hit someone is you hit him in the wallet. I think you fine them a bunch of money because because Aqib Talib's on a team that's not going to the playoffs.
I don't care. Fine them and suspend them both.
Suspensions.
A
I
game.
feel I don't.
A game.
There's been so many fights this year that I don't think that. I mean, okay,
That was
one game
that
is
was
fine.
different, though.
One game could be okay, and then a big fine. But I think if you just fined them a lot of money, they're not going to go out and fight again because that hits their bank. It doesn't hurt the rest of the team.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
idiots.
but if they get suspended, they also get fined because they don't get that game check.
But I don't think the actions of just 1 or 2 persons should cause the whole team to suffer. So why don't you just fine them?
DJ, that's what good coaches do.
You put people in trouble.
Yeah.
You don't
Let
just
it be a team decision.
You know what a good
No.
coach. You know what a
Why?
good coach
Why is the
does.
league telling them
Because-
to do so?
because I mean, if I was the coach, I would bench him. Then.
A good
Then you leave it up to the coach.
what a good coach does is if
I'm not talking about the coach, Hank. I'm talking about the
I
NFL.
know, but what a good I'm just saying what a good coach does is they will suspend that player so that the other players on the team will notice that you'll get suspended, and B, if
We
you
don't talk about that
continue
shit.
to do those actions, you will get suspended again, and you will make a malcontent team, and they will literally they won't talk to you if you keep doing it.
It affects the locker room, dude.
It
When you're
affects the
constantly
locker
getting
room.
suspended and getting in trouble, like
He's not constant. This is his first suspension in how many years, okay? I mean, yeah, this was a bigger fight. I get that. But, I mean, I'm okay with 1 game. Not okay with 2. I think there's been so many other fights out there that 2 games is too much.
Yeah, but this
and they
was
realize
by
that.
this was
And
by
games are
far
okay.
this was by far the worst one.
Yeah, okay, it was
by
the
far.
worst one. But, these 2 guys have had a history. It wasn't just, because
so
of...
you suspend them.
Okay, that's why you suspend them 1 game. But I'm also saying that fining them would probably work just as well.
Not with a guy like Aqib Talib, who, let's be honest, beat the shit out of his mother and went to a not even a good Dallas strip club, a freaking rundown Dallas strip club, and literally shot himself in the foot.
Because he's a gangbanger, dude. He is. He always has been. He's always been a bad dude. He's always been. Have you seen the list of his arrests and the times he's been in trouble? Like, I'm not just saying he's a bad dude because of a couple things. Like, no, dude. He straight up has, like, a rap sheet. It's just he's really good at football, so they let him play. Which is a whole different topic.
He's just really good at football.
All right, guys. So we got our points across there. I think it's time to move on to our team roundups. I want to start with
The Browns?
the most disappointing team here, the Dallas Cowboys. Ricky, why don't you go?
Okay, yeah, not a problem. So let's start off with the clapper. I mean, clearly he knows when to clap on and clap off. That being Jason Garrett. I just cannot. Okay, look, I can understand like getting blown out once, like I know once in a while that I can understand that, or like not, but 3 straight games. I mean, come on, and it's not even any, it's just embarrassing. And all I'm gonna say is like I can't give a proper like team look because I'm getting the same result. It's you do good till halftime or somewhat do decent and then you fall apart and you get blown out.
But what is it about? Your defense can't finish? Is it because your offense is stagnant?
No, they're missing. This is the reason. They're missing Sean Lee and Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay,
it's because the coaching staff is too ignorant to make changes or to do anything complex in regards to play calling. Like I would be sitting there watching, and I'm like, it's the same generic play. Just run up the middle, run to the outside, pass plays. Like it looks like the receivers are running the same routes.
Oh, come on. Well, that's the thing, man. Ezekiel Elliott can make the generic ungeneric by his running style.
But that's
Sean Lee can make the generic look ungeneric with his capabilities as linebacker.
I understand that. Yeah.
Two people, stats show you win more when Sean Lee's on the field, and obviously you win more when Ezekiel Elliott's on the field. So,
no doubt. But my problem is that shouldn't be an excuse for you to get blown out and have an inept offense every week. Like, look, let me put it in this perspective. Obviously, yes, the Cowboys are a completely different team, and they're probably one of the better teams in the league when they're fully healthy. But that's no excuse for the coaching staff to put up terrible results and call the most generic plays possible. That's not an excuse for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a team that's overcome that diversity. The Ravens have dealt with injury all year.
And this is the problem. It's not. I don't think it's the coaches. I think it's the depth. Obviously, the players that are the old. No, it's when the players get replaced. Those great superstar players get replaced, and then those other guys in the backfield can't handle those complex plays or something like that. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe you've had too many injuries and play within their capabilities.
You think it's a roster?
It might be a roster,
like a GM roster.
Top heavy.
No, it's because the Cowboys are calling the plays as if Ezekiel Elliott is in the lineup, and they're not letting Prescott throw the ball down the field. They're not. It's just like with Mike McCarthy. They're not giving him the keys to the Lamborghini.
But it's
never been a guy who changed the play at the line.
Well,
he's never been that guy.
But I will say this. I feel like it's not necessarily that, but it's more of the it's more like they want to keep doing the same thing, and it's just like, and clearly these problems are pretty much camouflaged when Zeke Elliott and Sean Lee are in, because clearly now I don't think Rod Marinelli's per se a bad corner, because clearly the Cowboys defense does decent. It's probably that has to deal with personnel, but when you're looking at the offense, this is clearly the glaring issue of the Dallas Cowboys, because they want to run the same plays like Zeke Elliott's in there, like Hank said, and and people want to get on deck, be like, oh my god, these turnovers, he sucks. It's like, no, it's because his receivers are running the same routes and the defenses pick up on it. That's why the Cowboys aren't looking so fantastic over these past couple games. And I'm going to be honest, if this happens again tomorrow and we get blown out, I want Jason Garrett gone. Like, and you might think I'm crazy, but I'm sorry, but this dude, he's been lucked out lucked into saving his job by Romo in 2014, Zeke in 2016, and I'm not letting him get away. And this is the first time I've ever been adamant about him wanting to be gone, me wanting him gone. So I'm not like,
I hope he stays.
Yeah. If you're an Eagles fan, you hope he stays.
Ricky, I'm sorry about the demise of your team. I welcome
At
you.
least we're not 0-10.
It's on 11. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually I felt so bad. We're gonna talk about your team in a second, but
Okay.
I felt so bad. I was at Football Sunday, and Hank, you were there, and I think I just like turned around and
Yeah, and you're like
I
yeah.
watched the Browns losing to the Bengals, and I literally was just like, I was like, can they just get a win? Like,
No, I think your words were, "Wow, they're already losing."
wow.
because
Already
because
losing.
I believe they were winning 3-0 at one point.
Oh, great, one of the greatest moments of my watching career for the Browns. No. The Steelers, we had a good chance to beat them early, but that didn't happen.
You still beat them in the last game of the season.
That is what I am predicting.
I am going to sincerely laugh if, like, say for example, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just need to win the one game to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and the Browns beat them.
That's like a Super Bowl. We'll make a trophy for that.
Honestly, they should just give the Browns the Lombardi Trophy and just call off the rest of the playoffs.
Hey,
wait.
pity party.
Game,
I will not take a pity party, Hank.
Wait, is that game in Cleveland or in?
That's in Pittsburgh.
Oh my God, that would make it 20 times better.
Oh, I know, man. And just seeing all the yellow towels thrown on the field, just terrible towels.
And then Hugh Jackson wipes his ass with a terrible towel.
and throws it on the touchdown line. There's a challenge flag for you. But in any case, I'll tell you what I saw in the Browns game. I saw a team that had chances to make a run or a comeback. The game got away with later in the early in the fourth quarter. They had some chances to come back, put some heat on them. Every play, and I got to watch this in Ohio actually with my Ohioans and my Browns fans, and just to start to divert from what I was going on. But you've seen it all when one of your uncles, and this is a shout out to you, Uncle Don, out in Ohio, basically just doesn't care about the Browns, and he's been watching the Browns all his life now. He literally predicts everything bad that's going to happen. And I sit there and I'm like, is this what happens to us in 30 years? He's like, possibly, if the team's still around. So honestly, we got a lot of hate in Cleveland for what the Browns are doing, and people calling, "Oh, just move the franchise." And
I would sincerely, I wouldn't know if I would laugh or be nearly emotional, like, oh my God, I feel so bad if they like moved to like Toronto or something.
Oh no,
and then win the Super Bowl the following season.
Man.
The Browns are not gonna. They're not gonna move the Browns twice.
They have a big following in London. It's one of the bigger followings in the NFL.
That's like an insult to American football.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And if that can't happen, I can't have the London Browns. So
no. It would be insulting because we're giving the English our worst franchise.
Oh, fuck you, Ricky. We should send the Cowboys out there since Jerry's going to lose the franchise, so they're going to go out to London.
No, you don't. Don't. Jerry's a senile old man.
I heard he wants him some glory hole.
Okay, calm down.
He's using the S word, the whole. Anyways, the Browns are playing the Jacksonville. No, they're not. They're playing.
That was 2 weeks ago.
They're playing the Chargers.
The Chargers.
In LA.
This is what I've been waiting for. This is the game I know we're gonna win. The Browns beat the LA Chargers by one score, and it's going to be an Isaiah Crowell run. I hope that this is going to happen. We beat them last year by 3 points.
We're locking this in. We're locking this one in.
I have nothing else to really say about this team. I'm sorry, guys. I'm I just hope we win one game. That's
He
literally what
literally
I'm at.
has nothing to
I
say.
just- I'm like-
Everything doesn't work. So
It doesn't. So
until something
the-
works right, he's just gonna say, "I hope they win."
yeah, I mean, I'd be just dumbfounded if I was a radio host in Cleveland trying to think of ways to make my fans more positive of what I'm talking about on the radio. I don't even think they talk about it on the radio. I'm pretty sure they just talk about the Cavaliers. And then off-season baseball for the Indians. I'm pretty sure the Browns don't make it to the radio waves.
The Browns are like the forgotten stepchild
I
of
just,
Cleveland.
I just.
Let me tell you
this
something.
There are three things. There are three things I want out of this season. I want Hugh Jackson to stay. If there's anybody that's going to leave, it has to be a part of the front office. I want all of my defensive players to return because that defense is one of the most underrated defenses, and they have potential to be one of the best defenses next year in the league. And three, I just want to see Deshaun Kaiser grow a little bit. And he is growing a little bit, but his receivers are now starting to drop balls again, i.e.
No.
Corey Coleman. Corey Coleman dropped one that was right in the breadbasket last week to help put us up within 3 points, which would have changed the tide of the game, and dropped it. And I'm sorry, one more thing. I don't know if you guys watched the game entirely, but there was a hit that Jabril Peppers put on one of their receivers, and they called it an illegal hit when his crown of the helmet hit his shoulder pads. He hit the ball out, and they called that hitting a defenseless receiver. So I want to know.
Aren't you not-
We can talk
aren't
about
you not-
next time what is a defenseless receiver penalty.
Aren't
It's
you
a bunch
not?
of yes.
Aren't you not allowed to lead with the crown of the helmet?
No, it's the face mask. The crown. Stop. I'm passionate. But it doesn't matter if you leave with the crown of the helmet and hit the helmet is where it's a penalty.
No, I thought it was anywhere. I
You
thought
just
you
can't
couldn't.
lead your helmet.
No, you can if it's below the head.
No, you can't. You cannot.
So
Yeah.
what? They're leading with their helmet at all times when you make a hit, Josh. You can't lead with the top head going in. The crown. He led with this part.
Clearly, the NFL needs to adopt two-man flag football and two-man touch.
No.
Or
I
two-hand
was
touch.
thinking more along the lines they need that magnitude at that late of the game. They need to review it. I think that's a penalty that
do you
needs to be
think-
reviewed.
Do you think penalties should be reviewable then?
No, only certain ones. I'm all for it because the thing with I'd say give the pass interference penalty only 15 yards.
New rule: a ban on NFL on a ball carrier initiating contact with the crown of his helmet in the open field or by a defender while making a tackle. And the other reason why it's a good idea that pass interference is the spot of the ball is because then
It'll deter you from just being like,
Then
"Oh well,
basically
I'm just gonna drape all over the guy."
Okay,
then
then that's a
basically
penalty.
at the end of the game, say there's 20 seconds left and the other team needs like 50 yards for a touchdown, then the other team will just be holding them down the field and they'll have a pass interference and it won't take them to the spot of the ball. It'll take them 15 yards.
That's why that penalty needs to be reviewable. There's too much riding on those kind of calls, and I think it should be around.
No, because then you start getting people that argue
No.
you should review if that was pass interference before they caught it.
No. There needs to be reviewable calls on certain penalties, not all of them.
I think we should move on to either Hank or Josh.
Guys, we're going to talk about that sometime
All right.
either this
All
week
right,
or next week.
so Josh, you want to go first?
Well, we got to win on prime time. We are now, I think that's 10 wins in a row in prime time, and
Yeah.
John Harbaugh is undefeated in
Harbaugh.
prime time. Harbaugh is undefeated in prime time. It wasn't a pretty game. The
Wait,
Ravens' offense. I don't have to tell you guys.
Wait,
what?
he's undefeated. That's not true.
Regular season, Hank. I'm not talking about playoffs because those
No,
are
I'm
always
not talking about playoffs either. Didn't he lose a Monday Night Football game to Jacksonville one year?
I don't know, Hank. Look it up.
Lies.
He's like, no, it wasn't.
No, it's not.
Let's look this up. Here, keep talking.
We're doing a fact check right now, guys, so we'll have some Jeopardy music playing in the
Hank's
background.
fact checking me.
So it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. October 24th, Monday, October 24th. The Baltimore Ravens lost 12-7 against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In what year?
Huh?
What year? What year?
2011, Monday, October 24th, 2011.
Sorry, 6 years.
Good job, Hank.
You got me.
Oh, so so he's
Maybe
10
that
and
was
1.
the beginning of
One.
your winning streak.
No, because he was
I think-
hired in 2008.
I
That
think
doesn't make
Josh's
sense.
point is that the Ravens do very well in prime time.
Yes, they do.
That
Yeah.
Hank,
yeah.
Jesus.
Hank, you're such a buzzkill, bro.
We can't.
Anyway.
All right, Buzz.
Anyway. No one wants to hear about the Ravens anyway. Hank, why don't we talk about your Eagles? They're
Whoa! Hey, I want to hear about.
No,
the
I
Ravens.
want to hear
No.
about the Ravens.
Let's talk about your Eagles. They're number 1.
Whoa! They have a chance. They're in the
I
hunt.
wanna hear
Eagles
about
have
the
already
Ravens.
clinched home field advantage. You guys are in the middle of the mix.
That's something I wanted to ask Hank. Hank, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I have a legitimate, like as a football fan, do you think it's a tad bit concerning that the Eagles could lock things up way too early?
No, because we have a tough road. we
No.
Eagles go to Seattle and LA. So there's
Well, what if they
there's
clinch-
no guarantee that they'll lock up home field advantage throughout that.
I'm just saying, what if they do?
I'm not really
didn't
that
say,
concerned, seeing as though the Eagles have been so good at home. It's not really concerning. I mean,
Okay.
they're going to play the way they're going to play as long as they don't have that many injuries. I'll say this, if Dallas needs a win to get into the playoffs week 17, I say the Eagles go right at them. Full power.
Because you don't want them in, obviously.
Exactly.
Because you don't know
I
what.
don't want Zeke in there.
Because, well, here's my thing, and I hate to like make this Cowboys team, but this is a good valid point you bring up. Like, let's say by some miracle the Cowboys need a win to get into the playoffs, right? If you're the Eagles, if you lie down and you let them get into the playoffs, imagine if they end up facing you in the division round.
Exactly. I don't want that.
Because then, oh my God, like you're facing off a kicked off Zeke and a fully healthy Dallas squad, which by the way is a completely different team.
Yeah, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. I want to pummel them into the ground as soon as humanly possible. And even if, and in my opinion, even if the Dallas Cowboys are not ready, or not in contention, if they're mathematically eliminated at that point, I still want to play the starters. I still just want to. I want this team to prove themselves against Zeke. Week 17.
Well, my whole thing. Sorry to again cut you off, but it's just my whole thing is this. We saw what happened with the Cowboys in the last 2 weeks of the season. Well, they pretty much they kind of lied down after halftime to a T, like where they kind of just like once they were up, they kind of started resting people. But in the last game, they literally rested all their starters. My question is let's say hypothetically things go the right way and the Eagles clinch everything with 3 or 2 weeks left. Do you start resting players? I mean, me personally, I'm under the belief you play people till the end of the season.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Me too. I used to be under the thought process that you rest players, especially because back in 2004 when T.O. got injured against the Cowboys, the Eagles rested players and they went into the playoffs without T.O. and they won 2 games. But the thing is, I would rest certain players who are injury prone. The only difference that between this Eagles team and that Dallas team is the fact that the Eagles have a way better defense.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess the point is like you want to be ready for the playoffs and not be stagnant. Because I mean, we saw how the Eagles looked after the bye week against that kind of Cowboys team, and so that kind of alarms. Then again, you don't know.
Yeah.
For all I know, they can go on to win the Super Bowl, but for all I know, some team that gets
I
hot
think
can
the
march into
defense
Philly and
is-
win.
I think the defense is good enough so that the whole that grace period and the off time won't really take into effect with the offense.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm just playing it by ear. I'm going into every one of these games without any expectations, and I'm happy with what I see.
That's good.
All right, Josh, I want to hear about the Ravens.
We're 6-5, and we're the number 6 seed in the playoff hunt. Our offense is absolutely atrocious, but hell, there was a stretch where the 2000 Ravens, the team that won the Super Bowl, there was a stretch where I think it was something like 4 games that their offense literally scored 0 touchdowns during the season. So
They're going to the Super Bowl.
But their defense scored like 5.
it's okay. Our defense puts Justin Tucker in position to score.
Exactly.
You know, we have the best kicker in the league. Our defense is playing lights out. And in this last game, I don't know if you guys were watching the game, but even though they didn't connect, I saw Flacco attempting the deep ball way more in that game than I think I've seen all season long. So
yeah,
I took that as a positive away from it. And honestly, aside from the first touchdown, the Texans couldn't really get anything going whatsoever. I know it was Tom Savage, but, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins still had over 100 yards. We kept him out of the end zone, but he's still had over 100 yards.
I just wanted to slap Tom Savage so bad because all I needed was 3 measly points for DeAndre Hopkins. And what does he do? He fumbles, and then he throws a freaking interception in double coverage. And I'm like, I am going to slap. You are the worst quarterback in NFL history, Tom Savage. How the hell? The fact that the Houston Texans were actually going to make you their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season is just an absolute travesty. Like, turn in your quarterback card. Give it to somebody else.
That because you lost in fantasy?
But Hank, give some credit to where credit's due to Ponce de Leon. Mr. Terrell Suggs found the fountain of youth, sipping on that. 35 years old, guys. He's 35 years old, and he has 9.5 sacks this season. And
is he really that old?
Yes, he's 35, and he has 9.5 sacks this year. And I think that was his 4th strip sack this season.
I'm carrying my fantasy team in for money.
Dude, he's been amazing. I think that the Ravens can make a push here. And once it comes to the playoffs, I love how the Ravens put it. They call it the second season. Like once we get to the second season, it starts 0-0. So all I care about is getting So yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and before we move in, I want to talk about the fantasy league. So again, thank you for everyone who participated. It's gladly appreciate. We gladly appreciate everyone else that participated. Right now, I'm trying to get on here. Okay, here we go. So as of right now, the playoff picture looks like this. It would be me in the first round, by the way, because we only have 4 teams making the playoffs. It would be me versus Josh and DJ versus Action Jackson. And
man, so the 3 hosts got in. Oh wait.
Oh,
yeah, what happened, Hank?
Well, he beat me, so now
David Johnson happened. David Johnson happened.
Long Green Johnson beat you twice, Ricky.
So we're getting actually this week we're getting a possible championship preview with me going up against DJ. And we're actually having both the playoff teams that are in right now go up against one another. Josh is going up against Action Jackson. I'm going up against.
Wait, now is the playoff? Ricky? Tell me, is the playoffs? Are they locked?
That I'm trying to find out. From what I'm seeing, it's not letting me know if they're locked. I'm pretty sure. I think it's the 2 best teams in it's the 2 best teams in each of the conferences.
Well, it's not by record.
Sorry. Yeah. No, it is because it's you and Action Jackson in the first conference.
So
it's me and
If Action Jackson were to lose this week against Josh, or if Josh were to lose to Action Jackson, what would that mean for the people below us? Could they jump up?
Yeah, the Little Giants, if they win and Josh loses, Josh is out.
Oh.
So Josh has the win. No, but here's the thing. Action Jackson's already in. They're locked in.
Oh, okay.
and so are
So-
you. So literally, Josh needs to win this game.
Well, it's a big game for Josh.
That's fine.
You got it?
I thrive under pressure.
Okay.
I live under it.
I guess I could tell that because he does throw the ball pretty well over the middle. Okay, Ricky. Well, I'm looking forward to playing you. I got to beat you because you gave me the first loss or one of the only losses. I think I was undefeated until I played you. So
Yeah, you're the Chiefs, and now we're both 8-4. I've lost 3 straight. I don't know how many you've lost in a row, but I'm pretty sure.
I've actually just won. I just win,
Okay.
win, no matter what.
All right, we'll see what happens this week. All right, anywho, I want to get to the picks.
Can I read out the pick this week? You can write them down.
Sorry, yeah, sure.
Because I already have them all written down too. So, since I'm a Ravens fan, I'm gonna start with that game because it is a 10:00 game. It's a morning. Well, what time is it for you, Ricky? 1:00, 10:00 over here. 1:00
Yep.
for you.
It's- yeah.
Lions going to the Ravens.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Ravens. The Lions
I'm-
looked absolutely pathetic last week.
I'm gonna.
Well,
This is a hard pick.
It's a tough pick. It's a pick 'em
don't
right
know.
now. In
Remember,
gambling.
the Ravens' strength is their secondary.
Who? Wait, I'm. Dang, this is hard.
I
Are the Ravens at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking the Ravens.
I got to make some ground up here. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm going with the Lions here.
Is everyone going Baltimore except for DJ?
Yeah.
Except for DJ, we're all going Baltimore.
DJ's
Yeah.
got to make up some ground here.
It's a home
Okay.
game. It's a home game, and I think the strength of our team is our secondary. So I think we'll be able to do well. So next we got Ricky. This is your team against Hank's other favorite team.
I'm picking Washington. I don't really care at this point.
Wow.
Ricky's picking the Redskins.
They're
Okay.
Oh.
gonna beat the Cowboys by. I'm gonna say they're gonna beat them by like 20 points.
Are we not going to see on Facebook you throwing up the X anymore? Is that?
I'm gonna pick.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna pick the-
I don't understand why people want to get on that. Like that was when they were scoring the touchdown. Like that's not at the end of the game.
No, I know.
I'm
just
gonna
giving
pick the Dallas Cowboys.
Hank's gonna
Wow.
take the Cowboys.
Wow. So this is a 5-6 team going against a.
5-6.
5-6 team.
So I mean, they seem like they've been doing pretty much the same in the season.
No, I think the Redskins have been playing a lot better recently, especially if you look at that really close game that
Is
they
this
lost
in
against
Washington?
the Saints.
No, it's
Is
in
it
Dallas.
Washington?
It's in Dallas.
I'm going Cowboys.
DJ's going with the Cowboys. And I actually have this written down, but I picked the Redskins for this game. I just think that they're playing really, really good football, while the Cowboys are not playing really, really good football. Maybe
I
they'll
would be
meet
shocked
people.
if they win this game. I would legit be
you guys
shocked.
put this through here. You guys aren't. It's a division game. It doesn't matter what the records are.
I know, but it does matter.
But based on how they've been, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. But moving on, we also have this is actually a really good game because this game has huge playoff implications. We have the Vikings going to Atlanta to face the Falcons.
I'm taking the Vikings. No, I'm taking the Vikings.
Okay, all three of these games right now have been very tough to pick. I think
Dude,
this is
these
going to
are-
be one of the.
This is getting hard. This
It's
is going to
getting
be
hard.
a tough week.
I have to. So, do I believe in Case Keenum? No, I can't. Right? I can't see that. But that defense is so good. I think that they'll give Case more chances. I still think that the Falcons are going to win this one because I picked them to go to the NFC Championship. So, we'll go with the Falcons.
And Julio Jones finally
Wait,
turned it on.
They have a second quarterback as a receiver, Mohamed Sanu.
I'm picking the Vikings.
I'm taking the
Hank
Vikings.
picking the Vikings.
Did you guys see that pass by Mohamed though?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It was
dude, I
amazing.
lost it. I was like,
I
I
have him on
So my-
fantasy.
so my dad-
I got wet.
My dad has Mohamed Sanu in one league, and he knows I have Julio Jones. And I was like, "Oh, Julio Jones got a touchdown." He's like, "No, Mohamed Sanu got a touchdown." And we're like,
Yeah.
both like, "Wait, they both got touchdowns, but the score doesn't show that many points." And then Dad's like, oh my God, Mohamed Sanu threw the touchdown to Julio Jones.
No, but who are you
okay.
picking? You're going with Atlanta.
I'm going with
Minnesota.
Atlanta, the Falcons. I like the Vikings. I think the Vikings are really, really good. But I think the Falcons are maybe hitting their stride right now. They've looked kind of solid the last couple of weeks, and they're putting themselves back together. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Okay.
Next we have, this is a division game. Tough game.
No,
Because it's the Patriots and the Bills.
it's not a tough game to pick though.
It's not a tough game. New England.
Is it in Buffalo?
You're no question.
Is everyone going Patriots across the board?
Patriots.
Is it in New England?
Yeah. No.
No, it's in Buffalo.
It doesn't matter. It's the same place. They're both outdoor stadiums. Almost the same place.
But
I'm flirting.
one-
I'm
no
flirting
one
with
from
the
New England
idea.
is going to throw a giant pink dildo on the field.
No, they. You know what? And they're not going to. Jump off a truck onto a table
Through flaming tables.
Yeah. Or throw their girlfriend down. It's
I'm
weird stuff.
flirting with the idea of picking the Bills, but I know better.
You know better.
Hank, I literally was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
But the Bills are
I'm
going
like,
to do that.
division game. The Bills can pull it off. And then I was like, Josh, don't do that. Patriots are going to
I
win.
know
This is going to be a
better.
great slab of games week already. I mean,
I know better.
all these could go either way. You could see the Bills
Okay.
beating the Patriots.
Okay, so I know we're trying to wrap up here. Sorry, guys. Did we all pick the Patriots on that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Next up, we got the Bay Area game. We got the 49ers at Chicago for the Bears.
Another tough game.
I picked the 49ers.
I got to go with the 49ers too.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo starting?
He's starting, and we should have talked
Yep,
about
I'm taking San Fran.
I'm picking the 49ers because, like we saw last week, the Bears are pathetic.
Yes, the Bears are bad. The bad Bears that the Ravens lost to.
Like the Bears,
Yeah, this
like
game's gonna be
I
fun.
told Josh, the Bears are like when you like decide to play Madden with your younger sister and you have the highest difficulty and she has the lowest difficulty. She picks the Falcons with Michael Vick. This is back in 2006, by the way. She picks the Falcons with Michael Vick, and you pick the David Carr and the 2-14 Houston Texans, and you still beat her. That's how pathetic the Chicago Bears are. I could have won with the controller behind my back. I could have won with
You
my
could
eyes
have won it with no
closed.
arms.
That's how pathetic that game was.
Well, so Hank picking the Bears.
Very passionate about
I'm
that.
picking, I'm picking the 49ers.
Okay.
Oh, I
Next.
thought you were going to pick the Bills.
Next, this is a divisional game. It's the Bucks and the Packers. Not within the division, but in the conference.
I got to go here with the Packtown.
I'm going with the Pack. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-game win streak,
No,
right?
they just lost on prime time Sunday night.
I
And
know,
they
but
showed that they can
they
shut out
almost
the
won.
week, and they got shut out the week before that. In fact, DJ, they're on the opposite of a winning streak. They are on
A
a losing streak.
I'm
Can
gonna
I-
pick the Packers.
I'm going
Jeez,
Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Packers
I'm
too.
gonna pick the
Wow, this is
Cheeseheads.
Josh. This is a makeup.
This is
This is a
I picked
Josh
the Bucks. I picked the Buccaneers. I don't know. I just think that the Packers are so incomplete right now, and I don't think the Steelers are as good as the record says they are, because literally every game they play looks like that Packers game. Because I've watched all of them. They're in it, and then they barely win it.
Yeah, but because they have Antonio Brown.
except for the Titans game.
They have Antonio
Except for the
Brown.
Titans game. Anyways, moving on. This is a division game for the AFC South, and we have
Are
the
you-
Colts. What?
I said, are you sure?
Yes, it's a Colts Jaguars.
Okay.
I'm picking the Jaguars.
Hank's going with Jags. I'm going with the Jaguars as well.
I'm going with the Jags, yeah.
DJ's
Yeah,
gonna
well-
pick the Colts.
No, I'm not. I can't because it's the Jags, and I have the Jaguars winning their division.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
biggest
DJ
dark horse pick ever.
But the
For what was coming
the
into the season, and they're going to win the division.
I picked the
the
Eagles to be my
Titans-
dark
The
horse. so-
Titans are quiet division winners right now.
Titans. I know. Titans are technically in the first in their division.
Well, they're tied with But they hold the tiebreaker if
They
they
held
go
the
over.
tiebreaker
Yeah.
because they beat Jacksonville this
I
year.
understand that, but I'm still my pick. It still has a chance.
Anyways, DJ's pick still has a chance. We're all picking the Jaguars. Next is Ricky. I get the honors of doing it since I'm naming the picks this week. This is my game of the week. This is the game everyone is going to look forward to for who sucks more. The Broncos going to Miami.
Wow.
Dolphins are gonna
Suck
win.
less.
Dolphins.
Who can suck less to win a
Dolphins-
game?
The Dolphins are gonna win this game because when the Broncos, no matter how good the Broncos are, when the Broncos go to Miami, they usually always lose.
Well, I think
Well, and hey, the Broncos aren't good this year, so.
they
Exactly.
will lose.
Okay, I'm picking the Dolphins. Hank's picking the Dolphins. DJ, what are you picking?
This is one of the things where I can make a pick right now, but they don't have a quarterback. All right. They-
Matt Moore.
No, I'm talking about the Broncos.
Trevor
Who's their
Seaman.
quarterback?
Lynch. The
Oh,
answer.
Oh,
Ask
really?
Wes what he
3
thinks of-
interceptions?
Whatever.
No,
No.
he did that.
he's done. They're gonna
Simi-
all party in Miami to go to Miami because their season's over already. So they're gonna go have a good time, hungover. Well, nope,
So DJ's picking the Dolphins.
taking the Dolphins.
Ricky.
Miami.
All right, we're all going with the Dolphins. Rob, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, my friend, but the Broncos are not good. Next up, we have an AFC matchup
What?
between. So we're all picking the Dolphins.
Okay, I
Next
just want
we
to write that.
Yeah, next we got the Chiefs going to New York to face the Jets. I have the Chiefs bouncing back from their losing streak. They're beating the Jets this week.
Scaring
I got
me.
the Jets. I got the Jets.
Wow. See, now this is scaring me because I have Alex Smith as my quarterback on fantasy, so he kind of scared me last week. But I think he turns around this week against the Jets. I think he has to. He's going to feel the hot, fiery rage of Andy Reid.
Hank?
I'll pick the Chiefs.
Hank's going Chiefs too. Okay.
Josh has 2 games he can make up on.
How about no? That Ricky picked the Jets.
Oh, Ricky picked the Jets.
I have the next game as this is a division matchup. This is Hank's favorite quarterback in the league right now, Tom Savage, going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. I'm thinking the
He has
Titans.
no response to that. He is so mad right now. He has no response.
Tom
He's
Savage-
absolutely speechless.
Tom Savage can just eat a bag of bees right now.
Oh, wow. Did he hurt you in fantasy somehow, Hank?
Yes,
He did.
That's what
he
he was
did
saying.
hurt
Did
me
you
in
did you
fantasy.
get knocked out of playoffs because of him, Hank?
No.
Oh.
We have an 8 playoff lead. We have an 18 playoff lead.
And it's still coming down last week. I mean,
Yeah.
we had like how many 5 and 6 teams, Hank? You were one of them, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, Hank, I lost 3 games in a row in that league to start out the league.
0-3.
I've lost 1 since then.
That's a
Yo,
turnaround.
in one, just so you know, in one of my leagues, I started at 1-3. I'm sitting at 9-3, and I have a bye week.
Whoa. Dude,
That's
see,
my
those
for money
turnaround. I love it. Those are like that's one of the stories
I
you want to
picked the
follow
waiver-
inside
dude,
fantasy.
Literally, my entire team, I think, is off the waiver wire.
He's just a waiver. We have to have waiver king at the next party.
No, the 2 guys that I don't have off the waiver are Julio Jones and Leonard Fournette.
Of course.
Anyways, moving on. Did we all pick the Titans for this game because Tom
Titans.
Savage is Tom Savage?
It
Yes.
sucks to pick the Titans because I really want the Jags to win the division.
But
But
too
anyways,
bad they're gonna end up choking.
just like your Cowboys.
Who do you have?
No.
Ricky? Titans?
I had the Titans. Yeah.
No matter how bad Marcus Mariota is, the Titans.
Hank, I put Tom Savage with a heart next to it under your name here.
Okay.
Next game. Here's a game that I am going to go with DJ on, and it's the Browns
Wow.
going to
Yeah.
San Diego because the last time the
You mean
Browns
LA?
was against San Diego,
Has to be it. It's an omen.
You
It's
mean-
one of
you
those
mean-
things.
You mean Los Angeles, right?
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I saw. Oh wait,
The Chargers.
so they changed the name, but it's the same team,
it's the same team.
so they have to lose, right?
I am picking.
I'm going-
I am picking the Browns.
Come on, guys. You guys don't do this. This is
Ricky-
a
Ricky-
sure thing.
Wait, Ricky's going Chargers. Hank, what are you going?
It's a sure thing,
I'm
Hank.
going Browns.
Yes! That's what I'm
I
talking
swear to
about.
God. I swear to God. If the Browns win and they
Yes!
my
This
second
has to be the win. This
Okay.
has to be the win.
Okay, next, another huge division
Wait,
game.
you guys make Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we all picked Cleveland,
we all picked
man.
Browns, baby.
They freaking. I swear to God.
How often are you gonna hear that? Ken?
Hell.
We all picked the Browns.
I can't believe it.
Anyways, moving on. Huge game within the division. Once again, the tightest division in the NFL right now. It's the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Saints.
That was a great finish. That felt so.
I'm picking the Panthers.
I'm going Panthers.
Ooh, Panthers. Okay.
I see something else coming out of his. Drew Brees, 3 touchdowns. All 2 hit their. Actually, not all 2.
No,
Spreads it around.
Drew Brees is not going to throw a bunch of touchdowns. I think it's going to be the Saints. This team is balanced, and for once in a long time, the Saints actually have a pretty good-looking defense.
Yeah, no
Give
kidding.
me-
It's better than their offense.
I'm watching those Saints come marching in
Whoa.
on Sunday, so I'm going with that.
There he is.
Next, we have another division game for the NFC West. We have the Rams going to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Oh, Rams.
I'm going Rams as well.
Todd
Rams,
Gurley.
Rams.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Wow, Rams across the board for that one. All right, boys. Next, we are going to the New York Football Giants coming out to the West Coast to take on the Raiders of Oakland. I'm going Raiders, baby. Give me some silver and black to take down those Giants.
Just win. That's got to be their whole thing the rest of the way here. I got to go with the Raiders, especially with Geno. Can't throw a touchdown, only interception. Smith.
I'm gonna go because I'm such a big fan. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say.
I'm so freaking tempted to take the Giants, but Geno Smith.
Dude, that's the end of the Raiders season right there. If that, it's over.
I'm
And
taking
Del
Oakland.
Rio
I'm
will be
not
fired.
that dumb. I will say this. If the Oakland Raiders lose to Geno Smith, oh my God.
Shit will be on fire, dude.
Okay, are you
At home.
going with the Raiders, Ricky?
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got. This is the Sunday night game. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Eagles going out West Coast to take on the Seahawks of Seattle.
Was this
And
game
the-
flexed?
No,
And
it's
12th
always
man.
been like this.
What?
It's always been like this. It's not.
Okay, I thought it was flexed, but
No, the
no.
next
Primetime
week's game-
for your team. Are you coming up to watch it with me?
Yeah.
No.
No,
It's-
it's like, no.
it's-
I'm not
it's-
watching games. I'm not watching games with you.
Well, just because it's Sunday Night Football, it's too late for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going. I actually didn't write this one down. I'm pulling this one off the top of my head. I am going
Wow.
with the Eagles just because I don't think the Seahawks secondary can keep up with those wide receivers and Carson Wentz.
Oh, geez, this is going to be one hell of a game. I think the Eagles win this game, but they're only winning by 1 score. That's either 3 points or 7.
Before the season started, this was the one game besides Kansas City that I gave the Eagles no chance in. But now I feel like, what is it? From Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I think the Eagles lose by 3 points.
Oh, Hank's going with the
Just
D.
because the Eagles are absolutely horrible against the Seahawks. I know for a fact that the referees are going to be all over Pete Carroll's balls, and they'll be sucking on his dong because that's what they always do against us. So I give the Eagles a chance. I give them the fact that they might have a lead at some point in the game, but I do not give them the win.
So Hank does not like referees. Got that.
Ricky, who are you going with?
Against Seattle.
I'm going with Philly.
Someone's popular.
Are you guys signing on to AIM right now?
No, I keep getting messages on my.
Oh, Hank.
Okay, let's
surprised
pick
people
up, Hank, so we can let you respond to your messages. The Steelers, this is the Monday night game, and it's the Steelers playing against the Bengals. And somehow, even though I thought the Bengals were going to be bad, they're somehow in the thick of things.
I have the Steelers winning.
Because the Steelers. Okay. Ricky?
I'm going Pittsburgh.
Steelers. DJ?
Well, we got Pittsburgh and
The Bengals. The Bungles.
it's got to be Pittsburgh. That 7-game winning streak up until the Browns is coming up, and I might be right about that too.
Actually, let me see. Hold on, wait a minute. How many games have the Steelers won in the row? Hold up, I need to know this.
He's like,
The Steelers are 92. They've
yeah,
only lost
they,
2.
I know, but I told them we're going to win 7 in a row at least, and then lose to the Browns.
That
Hold
means you
on,
guys
wait.
would have to win the rest
Oh,
of your game.
so they've won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
No, but this doesn't matter. Even if they go on that winning streak, I think what's more fulfilling that what we've been joking about might actually happen is if the Browns get their first or second win by beating the Steelers to not give them home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
It's got to be the Super Bowl for the Bees. I have to go with Pittsburgh there.
I'm going, as much as I really want to write down the Bengals, I'm going with the Steelers.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, when you beat the Browns, it's a win, but it's not it was like practice.
Okay, so yeah, that should do it for all the games.
Yeah.
Sweet. Guys.
Before we go, I forgot to mention how everyone did last week, so I apologize. I want to do that real quick.
Yes. Let's see how.
So a big surprise. DJ did the best at going 12-4, bringing his total to 92 and 96.
Oh.
So he's closing in on the gap on not being below 500. Next we have Josh, who's sitting at 100 games, a win, 75 losses.
Wow.
Then there's me sitting at one. Then there's
He broke the century
I was
mark.
just saying I broke the century mark.
Okay, then there's me sitting at 101 and 73 losses, and then Hank sitting 110, 66.
Hank, you should have bet money, man.
I should.
Don't do it next year. Don't do it next year.
No,
it's because it's gonna. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like your damn fantasy luck, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get David Johnson in both my leagues." You guys watch. Oops.
No,
I-
Jews don't gamble, so I'm fine.
Okay. Well, anyways, guys, it was great to talk to you. Great to do another show. We got all of our picks in, so hopefully some of us can gain some ground on Hank. Maybe. Well, actually, I look at it, and Hank usually picks the same as most of us, so there's no week he's going to tank unless he
I
goes
think that
opposite
he's
of
playing
all
this
that.
pretty smart. Yeah, I mean, next year we'll have to put a little wager on this, little Venmo style, and see who really goes through, huh, Hank? I mean, that's why you really tell if you get.
Remember, DJ, Jews don't gamble.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you to break boundaries. Step outside the box. Don't adhere to stereotypes.
Well,
Anyway,
let's step
DJ.
outside the box while we let our viewers and listeners go. So thank you guys again for listening, and don't forget to listen to Hank and Ricky on
Here's the thing at the end of the day. And our show, which will be coming up on Friday, the Friday night pregame roundup.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Bye.